hurt me, you did several times. It hurts to admit that we're no different. I find it hard to commit, but you don't even try. Still I'm better with than without you. Oh, I'm on it, I want it, but why do you seem to call in your eyes? I can't tell if you're here or you're out there. Do you wanna be out there? You don't need to be Prince Charming to me. I just need this to be real. I don't need no fairy tale. You don't need to kill a dragon for me. Ooh, I don't need no fairy tale. Still, every time, whatever it is, I keep on trying. 'Cause it ain't hard to forgive when you know what it's like. That's why I'm better with than without you. Oh, I'm on it, I want it, but why do you seem to call in your eyes? I can't tell if you're here or you're out there. Do you wanna be out there? You don't need to be Prince Charming to me. I just need this to be real. I don't need no fairy tale. You don't need to kill a dragon for me. Ooh, I don't need no fairy tale. in progress, good things go slow. And I'm no saint. I fall and you pick me up again. You got your habits, got them too. Just feel like maybe I could lose them with you. Sinking in, and I guess I kinda like that. For the first time, you really got my back. Got your habits, got them too. Just feel like maybe I could lose them with you. Lose them with you, lose them with you. Just feel
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another AFR broadcast. We are here for the Tier 1 race here at Spa-Francorchamps. As usual, I am Kunai Zero, and it looks like I'll be kicking off things on my own at the moment. So, here we go. Wow. All right. So, no, I won't be kicking things off. Looks like C-Card's just nipped in there at the end. So, yes, we will both be here to bring you this Tier 1 race. Unfortunately, I did not have a track overlay ready. I was supposed to finish it earlier today, but things came up. So we're going straight into the action as it is. We have 13 drivers today as everyone's getting ready for their outlaps. Let us get set up. Let's have a look if we can get everything underway. Okay, so as everybody's going out on their outlap, trying to get ready. That's a bit better. Alright, so, Seacarrot, what do we reckon? Do we have any predictions or thoughts, or what's going on?
Well, you know, we say this similar thing every week. We know who's fast and who's an also ran, but it's better in the works. Revo's got a new wheel this week, so we'll see how that goes for him.
Mm-hmm.
Always a little bit of an adjustment period for that. He's looked pretty quick in practice, so I think he'll still be there or thereabouts, but you know, it's something to keep an eye on for sure.
Yes, we will have to see how he performs with the new hardware. I don't think we'll see much of a change, as I did sit in some of the practice races and he was doing quite well, so I think that should be pretty sweet. As Pacey jumps out on his lap, we'll have a look at that. You'll have to bear with me, guys. I am trying to set up some telemetry so we can have some more in-depth data analysis. I do know that C-Carrot's probably got his up and running as well.
Yeah, just got it going in the background just to give me a view of the hidden goodies.
So we should get some pretty good insight today, and then hopefully we'll have it more and more ironed out. Let's see, so looks like Pacey is the first one out on track. I think he is the First ahead as he comes into Sector 2. Alright, so Revo actually crosses the line with a 142.8 there on the soft tyre. Not a bad time. Gus Rules comes across with a 143.6. Bull and Rocky with a 144.2. And it looks like Pacey's coming up to the end, but he's backed way off and allowed Wahid to go ahead, so it doesn't look like he is doing his flying lap at the moment. He's just going back to the pits. A little bit of a setup change as Wahid comes across with a 144.7. Alright, so on board with the greenie now as he's coming off his outlap. Seeing how well he does. So 13 drivers today. We should see ourselves a pretty good track. Of course, Spa being one of the most famous tracks on the F1 calendar, with famous corners such as Eau Rouge, Slash Radion, and the bus stop chicane. Actually, it was quite a much longer track in its original inception, but they cut off most of it. Gave it a much shorter thing, which is still one of... Is it the longest? I think it might actually be the longest track on the calendar, even in its shortened form. I'll have to double check that one. No, that's... Yeah. But there's Greenie now coming around the end of Sector 2 there. Pretty good speed so far. Alright, so a 116.1 through Sector 2 as he's bumping in through Sector 3. See how well he can make it at the end. So Bandcamp comes across, he's at 144.2. Greenie teammate coming around that last chicane now. Through the gears, what will he cross the line? We're looking at a 144.3. So, which puts Greenie in 8th position so far. Pacey, the only driver now not to have set a lap, but he is on his outlap. So let's on board with him in preparation. All right. So everyone going out on softs, it looks like. It's at that time. I can't remember the... How many laps is 50% around Spa? Man, I really should know these things. But I don't. Okay, so 10 minutes 25 left in our session. No positions have changed as of yet. The majority of our drivers in the pit lane. As Pacey is coming around that Sector 3 to start his lap. Alright, so he is coming across, so let's jump on board for a full flying lap with him as he comes across the line there. So down through the gears as he makes his way through La Source and onto that massive straight as they come up onto Eau Rouge. And of course Eau Rouge being the bottom, Kincradion being the top. And then moving on to the Camel, which then proceeds onto the Camel straight. Full speed, full top gear. Flies down about 332 kilometers an hour as they come into the break to Les Combes and then through the section into Malmedy. Nice little corner there. Up through the gears again as he makes his way down to Bruchel. Down through. Oh, bit of a lock up there on the front right. Might actually have scrubbed some time there. We're not sure. So, goes in through the second part, which is the double gauche. And then this, the wide turn, which can catch some drivers out if you tend to go out, but it's alright, he keeps the speed. It's the inside curve you want to worry about. Down through the gears again, maintaining pretty good speed so far. Oh, car in the way. But he managed to put himself back on the track okay. Sector 2, Sector 3, yellow flag. Hopefully that won't affect him so bad as he makes his way through up towards Blanchemont. Full speed, wheelie pull down. Nope, keeps it flat. Very nice as they move through to the bus stop chicane. 100 metre bore down through the gears. Up in a second, goes out a little bit wide there. Has to wrestle with the steering wheel just to make it back into the DRS zone. What are we looking at? A 1:44.7. So Pacey's first attempt puts him there in 9th position. So we probably will see some improvement from him.
Yeah, it was a little bit messy there, especially the final sector. Anything? Not quite hitting these lines. Probably wouldn't be too happy with that.
So we'll jump up on board with Matt Zoid. They're in the Red Bull. Okay, so I'm thinking we're going to get a pretty tight race. This is one of those tracks where if it goes well for you, you know, you get a pretty decent lead. But there are also, because of its length, because of some of the straights, there are positions where people can catch up. And I'm thinking that we're going to see a lot of them. I think, you know, Revo's going to have a strong turnout, as usual. I don't doubt that at all. But Pacey's got something to prove. He hasn't been performing too great in the past couple of races. I don't even think he will win. Yeah.
Definitely a track where overtaking is possible. Plenty of spots for it. Unlike Japan in a sense, where it's pretty much only one spot, and that's that back straight. So, yeah, I think we'll see some overtakes here. Some good moves. As you said, Pacey's got something to prove a little bit. He's been a bit off the pace, and Seb sort of stepped up into that second spot the last couple of weeks, but we'll see how we go.
Right, so on board with Matt to it as he makes his way. Here's another attempt at the flying lap. Holding it out in 8th. Goes out a little bit wide there. It's got to wrestle with it. Puts it back on the straight, but that's obviously scrubbed some time. So we'll see how bad it is once he gets to the end of Sector 1. So down by 0.2100ths. So it's not nothing he can't make up, but it's also not going to be an improvement like he wanted to see. And they're very careful trying to maintain your speed, but going out way too wide. Almost collected the wall there, using as much track as possible. Keeping a nice tight line through there as he's got traffic out of the way, but nothing he can't dodge. So we should be seeing him at the end of his Sector 2 very soon. See whether he's up or down.
Yeah, he's just missing a couple of apexes there, a little bit wide.
Oh, he is down by 3/1000ths of a second. So doesn't look like this was the lap he was aiming for. But we'll see if he can make up anything at the back end. Keeping it flat, nice to see as he makes his way up to the bus stop chicane. Oh, no. Cancels it, goes out into the bits. Another setup, that's fine.
It's nice to see guys actually on soft tyres, so it's a bit of a rarity in this league.
Yeah, looks like they're trying to get the speed advantage out of the way at first, and then ride. Probably, I wonder if it'll be soft to medium or soft to hard. Spa is a very fast track, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a fast track, but it's a long track too. A good minute 45 lap, one of the longest ones. So That time differential and the hard tyres could be losing over a second a lap on that compared to a medium.
Alright, so Flyboy coming across the line there to start off his. See if he can improve at all. Now, I don't think there's been an update for the Ferraris in F1 2019 so far, but in real life, whatever they did over the winter testing really did help them on the very fast circuits. We'll see if that has any improvement. As Flyboy makes his way down the Kemmel Straight now. Almost 340 kilometers an hour down there. Using all of the curb available to him. So his sector 1 was a 29.735. Comes past the sector 2 now. Ooh, using a little bit of too much track there, but he is still up on his time by 1/10. So it's enough to at least put him into 6th. Actually, it's enough to put him into 5th. If he holds the speed, say 8th gear, 320 as he's coming up to that chicane. Ooh, slowing down a lot.
Oh, that's bad. Discord giving me grief.
So he decides to cancel it right at the end there. Probably not as much of an improvement as he would have liked. Bandcamp has retired from the race. From the qualifying session, so he's happy with his 144.2.
Yeah, just going through our 4 runners out on track at the moment. No one's up on a sector as of yet.
We have a Sector 1, Sector 2 and Sector 3 yellow flag. Must just be slow cars. Oh, yep, so I can see that Bull and Rocky pulling over there. For Flyboy as he makes his way down through Sector 2. Now coming up to the end of qualifying, so we will see how much of an improvement there is. As he comes at the end, he's up by 4/10. So it's slower.
Nice.
Sorry, not 4/10, 400ths, my mistake. So he is actually slower than his previous run. I'm not sure what caused him to bin that previous one, but he was much, much better off. He's going to try and finish this one. What will he cross the line at? It's the DRS zone. Oh, gets a little bit of sideways action there, and it's down by 8 thousandths. So 9th place will be where he finishes.
Yeah, in the meantime, Pacey managed to jump up the leaderboard a good 5 spots, so be happy with his run through there. He pushed it to the absolute limit, though, and he's out of fuel now, I think, for old Pacey.
Right, so we see a couple of guys still out on track. So jumping here with Revo, trying to improve on his time. Coming through that Sector 2 now. Flyboy retires from the session, so he'll be in 9th position. So far, Revo up by 1/10. coming through Sector 2. So he's on par to make quite an improvement. Not that he needed it. Because he's almost ahead by a full second. Alright, so Wahid goes past. He's in fourth with a 143.6, which is pushing a couple of people down. Matzoid there, sneaking in with a 144.1. Revo crosses the line with a 142.4. Very close to almost a second better than Seb. Seb's coming up onto that bus stop chicane, and now will he see an improvement? Goes in through the DRS. Oh, 143.3, so there is an improvement of 0.2. Revo is still almost a second quicker.
Yeah, that's pretty foreboding, that, isn't it? Hopefully those guys can find a second somewhere.
Yeah, that is nuts.
Come race time. As the session comes to an end.
Right. So there's your qualifying. Revo in pole position with Seb sitting alongside him at the front of the grid, and then Gus Rules and Wahid in third and fourth as we see the rest of the grid fan out. So we should be in for a good one. Everybody qualifying on the soft tyre. So we will be seeing a full grid start. At least I think we'll be seeing a full grid start on the softs. But then the question will be, will they go to a soft, or will they do a two-stopper or a one-stopper? I think a one-stopper is probably in their best interest, considering how fast the circuit is. So we might be seeing a soft to hard.
Yeah, we'll see what those three down the bottom end up doing with the free tyre choice, of course. But yeah, there's every chance they'll stay on soft, I think, and try and make up ground early on. Who's your dark horse who'll be putting the old knockers on tonight?
Dark horse. Look, okay. This always backfires on me, but I really want to see Nut do well. Because he's got the talent, but like he, for some reason, he just gets put in these really dumb situations, which cause him to just, and it throws it off, and it sucks because, yeah, like I know he's a good driver, but it just seems to be, it just seems to be him in a really bad spot. Like it really does suck.
Yeah, it just gets caught up in the.
Now I've noticed
the riffraff down the bottom. Yeah,
I noticed that Lotus is not in today.
Okay, so might have all of the cars finish on all four wheels then, eh?
Oh, we'll see. Apollo Pepsi's still in there. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, true.
Lucas, I ask this every week, I know, but will we get the corner names in your best Belgium accent? I don't even know what a Belgium accent is, but just for you, because you always are so persistent, I will try my best to pronounce these with as much of an accurate representation as I can. There are a couple that have no accent. For example, Malmedy and Chicane, bus stop Chicane. You can't really do that, but the rest will do my absolute best for you. Okay, so we're just waiting on everybody to finalize their setups, pick their fuel loads, so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's a fun bit of trivia there by Matt.
Revo was faster than Leclerc's pole time by 1/10.
So,
Usually, and I'm just gonna, usually you would say, oh, but it's a video game, yada yada yada. However, if you actually have a look at this game compared to actual timings, it's pretty bloody close.
Yeah.
Like, you think you set a really fast time around the track, and then you have a look in real life, and it's faster, and you're just sort of like, what? But, yeah, so, look, we know Revo's good. He says that he's bad, but he can shut up, because we all know that he's good. And, yeah, he puts in the dedication. That's what it is. Like, listen, you put in the hard work, it's going to pay off for you one way or another. So,
yeah, the only time we really tend to see Revo come unstuck is if he's caught up in traffic or something, and that doesn't tend to be an issue when you're a second out in front, does it?
Yeah, so it's, props to him. Okay, so just waiting on everybody to finalise. Hopefully nothing too bad is happening. Shouldn't see a restart or anything like that.
Now, did we catch a weather report? It certainly looks like it's sunny for days from this dodgy view.
It does look like it'll be a pretty good day, which is good. Ah, it looks like Flyboy.
It's just having some issues.
Yeah, Flyboy wasn't on that original list of drivers. Maybe that's what they were doing, just waiting for him to jump in. I think he'll still be on the grid because he was in.
Oops, someone's readied up.
We go. Yes, it looks like everybody is getting ready to jump in. 20 seconds to go until the session starts. Should be in for a good race, people. Spa is one of my favorite tracks, and especially through Eau Rouge and Radion, you tend to always get some pretty good chaos if everybody's on par. So we have 13 people. My eyes are deceiving me.
I don't see Flyboy on that list.
No, but we had 13 drivers originally. So...
Well, that's confused me further then.
Oh, look at that. Hold on. 10th is missing.
Oh, yeah, so it is. Okay.
So who's joined? Did someone join? No, everybody that's in there was in there previously.
Yeah.
I am super confused. I am super
I swear
confused.
this game chucks us a new bug every week to deal with and get our heads wrapped around.
Yeah.
Was combined in the practice?
Yes. Combined was in the practice, yes.
Well, you got me. Okie dokie. There's 14 guys in the race lobby for Tier 1, so we're still down. Flyboy most definitely. That is hoping he appears on the grid, but...
We might be on for a restart, possibly. We will see. Could be on the grid. Oh! Oh, yep. No worries. So Revo just went off there. So let's have a look. I see Nut. And Apollo's there as well. And it looks like Pacey is on the grid. Yeah, but no Flyboy. So we probably will see a restart. Flyboy did set a time. Yep, Seb's left the session as well.
Okay,
and it looks like people are starting to...
Though you never know with Seb. So.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Seb's internet is quite unreliable.
Strange that no one else is
leaving.
Doing anything. Now I'm staring at a grass hill.
Revo is getting ready to...
We've got 5 red lights.
Everybody's jump starting.
Okay, yeah,
there we go. Right. So it will be a restart of the session. That's okay.
These guys like to leave us hanging. Spear off the wall at a 200k an hour.
Everybody going off. Apparently Greeny the only one that's like, guys.
Here's his chance.
The virtual safety car gets called out.
Oh, it's good to know that it can happen. It just takes 10 cars into the wall.
Okay, so we will have to wait for the lobby to remake itself. So if you guys will just bear with us, we will try and get that sorted as quick as possible.
Hopefully no dilly-dally as I see a podium presentation happening. Even in the dodgy races that get cancelled, and Merck manages to win it. There you go. Alright, guys.
to go this way. There we go. Okay. Who else do we have in here? Looks like everyone that was standard. Alright, so it looks like we've got everybody in. Just waiting on the restart. Won't be too much longer, hopefully. Oh, I see Lotus in here as well. So it looks like Lotus will be joining us, as don't think we'll be doing another qualifying though, so he'll have to take last place on the grid.
In 1971, the Belgian Grand Prix was cancelled as the Spa track did not meet the FIA mandated safety regulations that year. The event was eventually relocated and would not return to Spa until 1979. Spa was dropped from the Formula One calendar in 2006 due to the event organiser going bankrupt, resulting in planned improvements to the track unable to be completed. The Wallonia government stepped in to provide the necessary funds. However, this was too late for the race to take place in 2006. Spa-Francorchamps is known for its unpredictable weather. At one stage, it rained at the Belgian Grand Prix for 20 years in a row. However, in 1985, when new asphalt was laid specifically to help
Oh,
conditions,
Potsy. Yeah, unfortunately, man.
and the race had to be
No formation lap. Okay, no worries. Just been informed that there will be no formation lap. Okay, so we are gonna start and go, which will mean quite interesting for everyone's tyre temps. obviously that won't be as optimal, so we'll have to keep an eye out on that. See how that all goes.
Outside of the racing world, it has been used several times for the Tour de France cycling race. As an iconic part of the Belgian Grand Prix, as well as its location,
Oh, gotta love technical difficulties.
Good. They're good. We get them every week, man. It's so good.
Yeah, it always tends to be in this quali.
Tell you what, if F1 2020, if we can get telemetry stuff. Is this about to start and I'm not even ready to go? And it is. Okay, so everybody is completely ready to go. Everybody's flying up towards that first turn. Revo taking it up pretty good. We've got some position changes. Not that I can track them at all, but everyone seems to be pretty clean. Let me see if I can get this all switched on without taking too long. There we go. So, Revo makes it away with Seb right behind and Gus right behind him as well. Pretty good as they come into the Kemmel Straight. So far, everybody on track.
Oh, Seb looks for a move on the outside, but it's not quite there for him. But he's right up Revo's clacker. If he's going to make a move, now's the time to do it. Before Revo has a chance to pull a gap. Still right there with him. Not seeing too many changes down the field. Seeing Bandcamp's jumped 2 guys, and Matt obviously got off to a poor start. Maybe got tangled up in the first corner.
Yeah, not
He's
sure.
dropped down 3 spots. But,
Not sure what's going on there, but either way, Revo's still in front with Seb chasing up pretty hard. 0.3 is the gap between him. It looks like the closest gap so far is Greeny trying to make a move up there on Flyboy. So they'll come around that corner for lap 1, and here we go. Now wait, Revo's in the fastest lap. So they move their way on to the second lap. Here we are. All right, so having a look at these intervals. We have some close ones happening up in the back here. Let's have a look. Greeny trying to get up on the back of Flyboy. And Combine trying to do the same to Matt. As they're all coming down Eau Rouge. Sorry, in preparation Eau Rouge. Up through Radion. Ooh, Greeny getting a little bit wide there, using all of the green. Seb, very, very close to the back of Revo there for a while. So far I've got a pretty good train. No, we're going out too wide. Nut is in the pit, so something did happen. Not sure what that is though.
you pulled some unusual magic on poor old Nut, unfortunately.
Yeah. So the gaps are pretty close as we come through that second sector. Revo's managed to get a 0.5 gap ahead. Gus Rules 1 second behind Seb. Wahid 0.7 behind him. And Bandcamp 1.5 seconds behind Wahid.
Yeah, Pacey struggling a little bit early. I've seen him touch the gravel twice now. Tough to follow cars around now.
It is. It can very much be very difficult to get cars traveling very well because.
Oh, he's right up on Bandcamp here. He's got a chance on the straight. Get up an exit. Not quite. Gonna have to get up pretty early to pull a move on Bandcamp.
That is correct. Now lap 3 as all the DRS has been enabled. So we will see if this will change for some drivers as they come up to the Kemmel Straight. 0.2 is the closest gap so far. We'll jump on board with Combine as he moves through Eau Rouge up to the top of Radion trying to catch that Red Bull. Here we go into the DRS zone. Apollo Pepsi gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Not a surprise to anyone. Pacey's getting really close. Pacey manages to make that overtake. Matzoid's side by side with Bull and Rocky in the Alpha, but he does have to fall back. That's just put Combined in a better position now to try and make the move. Will he try and do it? If he does it around Bruchel, that'll be interesting. Up on the inside, he's going for it. But will he have the speed? The Red Bull being on the inside line as they come up to the next section of the track. Oh, but he goes a little bit too wide, which causes Combined to take a look. Doesn't quite take it, though. Oh, he's going to go on the inside there. Now look at Flyboy come up right on the back of that Haas, and he's going to try and make the full move.
Flyboy was the fastest car on track in that first sector.
All right, so he's pulling back. No worries. Playing the safer option. It is only lap 3. You don't want to bin your entire chance on that. So Flyboy doing Omen's work, trying to get up there. Combined, getting a little bit of a gap happening now. As we see some of these now, Greeny's getting closer and closer to the back of that Ferrari as well. If we look at the front of the grid, Seb 0.4 behind. Gus Rawls has slipped away a lot more. He's now 2.1 seconds behind the second sitter. So we're all coming around that bus stop chicane now. Let's jump on board with Greeny. Up in that Renault, trying to catch the Ferrari. Going around La Source. Infamous corner. The massive downward straight. Up into Al Rouge and into Radion. Look at the speed they carry through here. 300 kilometers an hour, not a problem as they use all of the track available to them into the DRS zone.
Seb's made a move on Revo. He's taken it.
Here we go. Up to the end. Flyboy as well, getting very, really close. And a massive train. Let's have a quick peek up to the top as Revo's getting closer and closer. There's contact there. I don't think any damage has happened. But Seb now leading the race. They come into the double gauche. Revo carrying immense speed there. Will he be able to catch? He's got a great opportunity here to try and hold the tow line as they move through the fast part of Sector 2. Up to the...
Flyboy again was the fastest car in Sector 1. He loves that sector. Going purple.
So Revo 0.4 behind. Seb's getting a pretty good gap happening here. We'll see how it manages to close up. We'll jump on board with Revo as they come around that bus stop chicane. So the first DRS zone and the second DRS zone not far away. So we'll see how much he can claim up here. Down through the gears. 0.3 the gap. God, he's basically nudging him with the front.
Seb just backing him up a little bit through those corners so he gets a better exit.
Up through Radion. Into that second DRS zone. Here we go. Revo's going to have all the advantage. We see him go over the outside. Will he be able to make the brake marker happen? Yes, he does. So Revo now in front. And your race leader here in lap 5. So that'll be up to Seb to try and make that back. Could we see a super intense game of leapfrog for the rest of the race?
It's certainly shaping up that way.
Okay, so not to neglect the rest of the grid. Let's have a look at some of these gaps. 0.4 there in the back with Flyboy. 0.4 as well with Greeny. And we got a 0.4 from Wahid trying to come up on the back of Gus Rules as well as Lotus leaves the session. No, T-Mac, we cannot see people's setups with data. We only see the live telemetry that comes from the cars. So, for example, if it's set up right, we can see your tyre temps, the fuel you have on board, the amount of ERS you harvest. One of the interesting ones we can see is your how much of the lap you are at full throttle and how much of the lap you coast, which is an interesting piece of data that we have.
Yeah, the only thing looks like Seb might be the only car. Seb, Bull and Rocky. In Flyboy, we don't have any telemetry on, unfortunately. We have the basic telemetry, but we don't have tyre wear for those three guys. Guessing the angle on that front.
Seb's starting to slip away. I think Revo's turned it up a notch. Didn't like the idea of getting overtaken, it seems. into the Camel Straight. Here comes Seb with the DRS. Look at the advantage that you gain coming down that straight with DRS. He's going to have the inside line. Will he take it? It looks like he does. Has to ride the curb heavy to do so, but Revo falls in second. And that shows you just how important keeping that 1 second gap is on the Camel Straight.
Yeah, that's what, a 0.7 of a second toe along that straight, isn't it? You've got to be pretty close to that second if you want to hold it out.
So this isn't something that we usually see in our AFR races, but today is an exception. We are having a battle that is constantly back and forth for the lead. Usually, whoever's in front stays in front by a lot. But we're seeing quite a big switch up here at Spa, and I'm glad to see so, because this means that Revo will have to do his best to try and defend. As Seb
What they are doing, though, picks up 3 seconds. What they are doing, though, is setting Guy on fastest laps constantly.
I mean, you have to think about it if you're defending yourself from these types of people.
They're well over a second faster than the rest of the field, these two front runners at the moment, and the old leapfrogging is helping, I think. They're just pulling away. 4 seconds on Gus now in third.
Alright, so Revo now the one coming up to backtrack. And ladies and gentlemen, if you can hear fireworks, that would be because my mic's too good and someone outside is letting him off. So I do apologise for that. Okay, so while that was all happening, Revo manages to make the overtake up on Seb there. And yeah, it looks like we are in for a game of leapfrog. That straight being absolutely the key. As we have a Sector 1, Sector 2 yellow flag combined. Seems to have lost a couple of points.
Still in the running though, not seeing anyone ditching it. Just a minor off.
So these gaps are pretty close. Seb is now 0.5 behind. Wahid 0.9. We've got some really close gaps. So let's just jump back on board with Greeny. So he's trying to catch up to the back of the Ferrari Flyboy.
One thing I have noticed is Revo is carrying the most fuel out of anyone out there. He's heavily loaded up.
So I think he's going to go for the flat out.
Yeah, he's certainly got to be looking on that high fuel range. He'll be running in rich a lot and probably to be expected.
Revo setting the fastest lap again with a 1:46.8. As Pacey goes into the pits, which causes Bandcamp and Matt Sawyer to gain some places. Flyboy goes into the pits as well at lap 8. So now we're going to have to keep on board as Seb comes into the Camel Straight, but he is a little bit further than he usually is. 0.6 the gap. Will he be able to catch him by the end? I don't think that will be the case, but we'll have a look. Nope, he's just going to fall in line. So Revo starting to get the advantage again. As we see some crazy gaps. Look at Matzoid here coming up on the outside, and he does. Broadcast cam not helping me out here at all. But he does overtake Band, but Band goes in for it as well, and now he's in front. So great job by Bandcamp there in the Renault. Got overtaken, but managed to keep the traction and the speed down. And now he is in the advantage as they come down into the double gosh. Combined YouTuber at the back there getting awfully close to Apollo Pepsi. God, he's 0.5. It looks like they're side by side as they come down into there. Apollo Pepsi managed to keep it right ahead though. That is great. This is great racing that we've got so far. But unfortunately, as some of the people in the chat are pointing out, Pacey down in 11th.
Well, he did have that pit, of course. So
Yeah.
we'll see whether the undercut works for him as Seb picks a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits.
Oh,
That's
so Revo and
brutal.
Seb are in the pits.
Nothing between them. We'll see who's got the better pit crew. Seb's going to be held for his 5 seconds.
Oof, that's going to be rough.
That's going to hurt big time. Pacey was the fastest car out there in Sector 2 last time around. Yeah, he was. So he's turned the mediums on, so it was certainly the right time.
Right, so as of lap 9, Gus is now the leader. A couple of the front runners have pit, so Gus rules in first, Wahid behind him. As Seb leaves the session, the internet kicking in again.
Damn.
So hopefully he'll be able to rejoin without too much issue. So Seb back in 8th with his teammate right behind. Revo's come out in 5th. Let's jump back on board. Pacey gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We're seeing a lot of penalties getting divvied out here. Not something you usually see in Tier 1.
Just crossing the white line. It's fine margins on a couple of these corners, and they're getting caught out.
So combined YouTuber up in 7th, trying to catch up to the back of that McLaren of Apollo. So come in through the bus stop chicane there. So green, it looks like the first 4 go into the pits. The majority of them do. Apollo decides to stay out. So that puts Revo up back in first on the medium tyre. Ton of changes happening because of that pit stop. Apollo gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
I was watching that live too, and that's an unlucky warning because you wouldn't have called it with the naked eye in crossing that white line. It's tight.
Matt Zoid making it up there on Bandcamp. We'll jump back there. Seems to be where the action is happening. So Bandcamp now in the Renault, trying to see if he can make his way back.
Yeah, well, he was ahead of Matzoid before the pits, so he was lost out after that pit stop.
The gaps are starting to fan out as Revo's making more and more of the lead apparent. Now sitting at 3.3 seconds ahead of Apollo. Seb has joined back in though, so hopefully he'll be able to work his way back as we still have 12 laps to go, and Spa is quite a long track.
Yeah, Revo went purple in that second sector there.
Running a 47.2.
Most of the field's still in the 48s, so it's finding a time that no one else can at the moment. It's just about everyone's on the same tyres now, just Apollo and Lotus to pit.
So Greeny's getting awfully close to the back of that Alfa Romeo. Let's see if he can do anything with it coming into that DRS zone. Preparing to turn La Source. So Revo's just extended his lead now, almost out to 4 seconds. Gus is 5.1 behind. As the rest of the field are coming through, ready on now. Greeny trying his desperate best to try and catch that Alfa Romeo. And he's coming up, but it's not going to be enough before he gets to that corner. Combined Lou YouTuber gets the overtake there on Lotus at the back. drive from him. And unfortunately, Nut 48 seconds behind. He's currently travelling. He's about to cross the line now. That is a massive, massive distance for Spa. Very unfortunate race.
I'm putting in bad laps. That 148.1 is actually what? Third fastest, fourth fastest that guy around in the entire field. So it was a decent lap for him, but he's got it all to do.
Okay, so we're on lap 11. Revo is your leader. Seb is back in the game, so he's trying to climb up those spaces as fast as possible. Apollo Pepsi goes into the pits, so we've still got Lotus to do that as well. Gaps are starting to make their way further and further apart. Greeny, the closest car so far, he's trying to catch up again to the back of that Alpha. 0.3 is the gap there.
Revo's about to pull 10 seconds on second place Gus at the moment.
Okay, so here we are. Greeny is much closer than he was last time. In through Al Rouge, up through Radion. Holds it in through 7th as they come into the DRS zone. Here it goes. Will he be able to catch Bull and Rocky before the end of the corner? 0.6 is a fairly large gap. Bull and Rocky doesn't have DRS, but no, he keeps it ahead. So it looks like he's going to have to do all the work down into the second sector. Apollo Pepsi gets the overtake there on Combined YouTuber. And they're going back and forth because Combined YouTuber takes the shortest route. And he's going to have to give that position back, no doubt. There it is. And Seb leaves the session again. So the internet not cooperating as well as we'd hoped.
Seb's got a little bit more faith in his AI than himself at the moment. Sneaky tactic that.
Combined YouTuber trying to catch up to the back of Apollo. Apollo on the faster tyre, however. We'll see whether or not that drops off later on. Even Wahid trying to get up really close to Seb. Of course, he'll be able to overtake because the AI doesn't usually put up much of a fight.
Yeah, it goes right through him.
There it is.
Down the racing line. It invites Pacey back as well. He's right up on Wahid as well. Keep an eye on that through Rouge and the next DRS. So should be close enough to make a move.
So Pacey has shifted it up into the rich mix. Obviously trying to catch up as much as he can through this Camel Straight. Being very, very close here. He'll be able to overtake this AI with ease. And now he'll be on the attack path for Wahid. I just see some of the other drivers come up. Looks like Combine's going to try and make a move there. He's up on the outside. Well done. But can he keep it? Last time he went a bit wide, but no, he managed to keep the clean line there. So he's now in 11th. Good job from the Haas driver. Jump back up on board with Pacey, getting closer and closer to Wahid. Still see some pretty close gaps so far. Pacey's getting awfully close. Wahid having a little bit off on the side. He's going down on the outside. They're side by side so far. Let's see how they go as they come to the bus stop chicane. Pacey gets past with no problem. Hitting that ERS all the way up. No, he did not. So
turned ERS right off, so we might be looking for the old I'll do you one better up the next straight with DRS himself.
Now if we have a look from 4th, 5th and 6th, those cars are awfully close together. And I think Seb is now back in the car. He is. So let's see how this all pans out. We'll jump on board with Matzoid. See if we can see some action from way back here as they all come down through Eau Rouge. This corner section, El Rouge into radio, and can keep some people unstuck. But these guys are taking it really, really well. So Wahid looking at a move. Seb is. Oh, God, look at him go right there. Wahid drops off so much speed. And the Mercedes driver absolutely aces him through the Malmedy corner.
What a cheeky move that was.
Sector 1, Sector 2, yellow flag.
Yeah, we've got a slow combined. I think he had a bit of a spin at the end of that big straight.
Oh, and Seb leaves again. No, what is happening with his internet?
Comes back just in time to perform the overtake and then hands it straight back.
These gaps here in the middle section are very, very good. Look at him, super close, all with under that 1 second. Wahid's 0.3, and it'll only get closer and closer as the AI does let off. Revo managing to take a full almost 11 seconds ahead of Gus. So he is flying.
So they're coming right up on the diffuser of Wahid. He'll have the next opportunity, I think, for an overtake.
Oh, he looked to go up on the chicane. Very, very dangerous, though. Right, so...
Wahid's just close enough to get DRS then. He got it off Seb, I think. Here's Matt's chance up this big straight.
Even Bandcamp's up in here as well. Here we go, coming up to that DRS section now. So Matzoid has everything turned up. He's looking to make the overtake. He's up onto the left side. Good positioning there from Wahid. Will he be able to go? They're still side by side. That's the senior team versus the junior team. Looks like Wahid comes out on top.
Nuts out.
Oh, Nut has DNF'd. And he DNF'd just after campus?
That's why we've got our flag, I think. I don't see him anywhere out there, but...
Oh, something happened there. He has DNF'd. Okay, so our 14 grid just turned to 13. Oh! Matzoid! So far out as he hit that, but what a job to get that back straight.
How did he hold that? That's phenomenal.
Bandcamp's trying to capitalise on the mistake. The Renault flying right by that Red Bull. God, they're wheel to wheel right now as they come into the bus stop. Renault, the Bandcamp has the advantage. And he will do it.
Flyboy too.
And exactly. Flyboy right at the back of both of them. Matzoid trying to go up on the left. Seemed like he had a little bit of a wrestle though, so we'll stay on board with this Ferrari. Let's see what happens. Seb manages to jump back in as well. He's in 8th right now. Bandcamp drifting it. God, going absolutely ham.
Both of them.
Breaking traction.
Band.
Coming down La Source. Cars are side by side. Bull and Rocky loses his wing as he hits it into the wall. Here we go into the DRS. This Kemmel Straight's going to be pretty severe. Seb's back in the race, so Band's going to try and get past him. Matzoid's going to come up on the back of this Alpha real quick. What can the Alpha do? Doesn't look like much. He's going to have to fall in line. Look how close these 5 cars are. So that mistake from Bandcamp caused quite a bit of chaos there. Bull and Rocky ended up losing his end plate. And now we've got... all of them within that 1 second gap. It looks like Seb's trying to do his best to try and get up on Bandcamp. He's going to probably do it. Is he going to do it through the double gosh? No, moves back in line. This is also a place...
That, when Seb jumped back in the car, it gave a few of them a fright.
Yeah, I think so. So Bull and Rocky went a little bit... Ooh, a little bit of drifting there. Bull and Rocky went a little bit wide, ended up collecting the wall. Not sure if it was because of Bandcamp's re-entry. But... God, that was an absolutely fantastic procession through the El Rouge complex.
Yeah, Bull and Rocky's missing the whole right side of his wing, so I think he's going to be a bit slow now.
Seb is closing up onto the back of Bandcamp. Bandcamp doing a really good job to try and make it all up, but then that off threw him a little bit. Probably won't be able to catch him before last source, so it will come down to our Rouge. Let's have a look on board with Seb. Bandcamp moving over to the side. Seb is so close as they come into the Camel Straight, so it's going to be pretty much over and done with as they make it down to that corner. But they are still side by side. Will the Renault have the advantage? No, Seb does manage to make it out in front. And Bandcamp has to fall in behind as Greeny now joins his teammate there, right behind him in 8th. One YouTuber with a 3 seconds, yeah.
It's pulling like he's coming back up onto Greeny here, but without that wing, you wouldn't think he's going to have it. Amazing how well Bandcamp defended on that straight. Usually
Yeah.
you see guys fly straight past, but made hard work for Seb just breaking that toe. Revo sets another fastest lap.
He is now 14 seconds ahead of Gus Rules in second.
He's the only guy that's hit a 146, and he's in the low 146s at that.
So Seb's now trying to chase down Flyboy. We're on lap 18 of 22. So not too many to go now. Let's have a look at how this will all pan out.
Pacey and Wahid are carrying 3-second ends as well, which invites Flyboy and Seb into the question for 4th. Wahid can't pull a gap.
Seb is coming up awfully close to the back of Flyboy there. We should see him move any time now. 0.3 the gap. So here's a little bit of a fun fact for you. Seb keeps his foot on the throttle 100%, 75% of last lap. So he is absolutely pulling as much from that car as possible.
Yeah, when you compare it to the 3 guys in front of him who are sitting in the low 60s for percentage around full throttle, that's considerable.
So getting awfully close to the back of this Ferrari. So he tries to, let's see, will he make a move before the bus stop chicane? He's only got the toe to help him out. Doesn't even use any ERS at all. And he makes it. Oh no, he got a little bit of a change there as they come through. So Seb is now in 5th with lap 19 starting up. Paul and Rocky with a 3-second time penalty there. So I'm just going to pop back down to Apollo as he is on the soft tyre and relatively close to Bull and Rocky. Will we see some form of overtake? I'm not sure. Matt Zoid sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:45.8. Will we see the McLaren make the move? He's going to go for it? No. Does back off just at the end. Doesn't have faith in the late braking.
Oh, and cuts it and gets 3 seconds for his...
Gets a 3 seconds.
Those penalties are really, really harsh because would he have even made up 10th in that car? He's hit the 3 seconds for his trouble.
Pepsi doing everything he can to try and make his way past Bull and Rocky there. Awfully close. Will he get a decent tow? It looks like it is creeping up. 2 on the ERS there. Oh, smashes it up to 5. For 1 second there. Oh, they are side by side. They are touching. Bull and Rocky concedes the position.
He's got the
But
chance
Apollo
to switch
goes
back
way
here.
wide, but it looks like Bull and Rocky just got a little bit too sideways. Scrubs way too much speed, and that's let Apollo get a bit of a lead.
He's close enough though, if good enough on the next straight.
Apollo Pepsi flying out. Bull and Rocky's dropping quite a bit. 0.7.
Yeah,
He's
Apollo's in full hot lap. He
Yeah,
doesn't want
wow.
to give that position back. He wants to say it's done.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to catch him there. So while we got this break, let's jump on board with the leader. He is 15 seconds ahead of anyone. It's such an incredible lead. I mean, it's nuts.
No, not DNF'd. Yeah. I don't know where he finds the time. I really don't. He just carries more speed through corners, gets better exits. Goes really wide through that final corner so he can set himself up, put the power down early, nice and straight.
Alright, so jump
Little
back
things will
down.
add up over the lap.
So Revo going across the line to kick off lap 21. Seb is the closest of anyone so far. He's at 0.5, trying to catch up to the back of the Toro Rosso. And he'll probably get it done. Oh,
Yeah,
Wahid goes off to the side, allowing him to pass. But was this a strategic move to hit the detection zone? Gets a little bit of the wall on the way out. So Wahid will have the DRS coming onto that straight. Was it a tactical move? Let's have a look. But he doesn't have the ERS to really pull it off. He bumps it up anyway. I don't think he's going to catch him. And he's not. Seb still in the lead. So 4th for Seb is Wahid. Pulls off just behind.
yeah, some big brain thinking there. Pacey
Greeny
and
at the back
Wahid
here.
both carrying penalties, of course. And Apollo has a lot of penalties. Enough to take him out of the top 10 on the track. As we're on the penultimate lap, we're in squeaky bum time.
Here we go. Okay, so Revo is making his way around the pit stop chicane, so he'll cross the line to start lap 22 anytime now. Here it is. Okay, so the last lap of the race is now in full effect. Revo 14.6 seconds ahead of Gus Rules, so he's probably got this in the bag if I had to guess. Seb closing up on his teammate here on the final lap. So here's where the action's going to be. Gus Rules 6 seconds ahead, so I don't think Pacey's going to be able to do it, but the battle between the two Mercedes drivers is on. Now let's see if
saved up a lot of ERS to use down here. He's in hot lap.
we'll have a look and see if he can do this cleanly. So he's got a lot of ERS available, hits the 8th mark, has to back off because Pacey is blocking like crazy, and he's almost past him even before the DRS zone. There it is. He's got an attack. Pacey slits in behind. Oh, and he's got to pull up real hard, almost taking out the back of his teammate's car. So the question will be this. Oh, Pacey goes off. So he manages to keep it, but it has scrubbed a lot of speed. He's going to be out on that 1 second, almost there. Will Pacey be able to catch his teammate? I don't think so, but it is the last lap. We'll see.
It's close too because Pacey's got the 3 seconds. Flyboy doesn't. So as it stands, Flyboy's close to knocking Pacey off a position here just with penalties. He's got to have that 3-second gap.
So Pacey and Waheed both have 3-second penalties on them, which means that Flyboy...
Pacey's gap to Flyboy is what, 2.9-ish, around that. So watch this space.
So Revo crosses the line and sets the fastest lap to boot with a 1:45.5. So that gives him the win and, as of right now, the fastest lap point as well. Gus Rules making his way across the line.
Nice drive.
He'll be in sec, so yeah, that's good. Great drive for him to be in second. Seb takes the last spot on the podium. His teammate right behind him in fourth. Now, Waheed crosses the line, so let's have a look. Flyboy will jump.
He does.
And he does jump by 0.06 of a second.
Phenomenal.
So the Ferrari splitting the two Mercedes drivers there. So we've got a little bit of a checkerboard happening from second to fifth. Waheed comes across in sixth, Bandcamp in seventh, Greeny hits eighth, Pollen Pepsi in ninth, Bull and Rocky takes up 10th position. The last of the point scorers, combined YouTuber, Mattoid and Lotus at the back. So Lotus still making his way around the back section of the track.
Yeah, poor old Matt. He had good pace, but missing the whole left side of his wing and doing a second stop took him right out of the points, but he was on track for a top 6 for a good chance there.
Yes, he was doing quite well there. Unfortunate
But
for him.
Fancy Revo setting a 1:45.5 on 15 lap old medium tyres.
15 lap on medium tyres, yeah. It just goes to show you how incredibly strong that, it's insane.
Told you
It's,
people on the tank.
like, obviously, switching the hardware only made him better, it seems. Connolly. Yeah, it is. We can see penalties in terms of time factor. So we can see who's got what amount of penalties, yeah. So that's something that helps us a lot when we're trying to do the math as to who's going to finish where. All right, so that is your race. Revo, of course, taking the win there in first and setting the fastest lap to boot on the last. Gus Rules in second for so a good, strong finish for the Ferrari team. And Seb overtaking his teammate at the end to get the third position. And I'll mention a Flyboy as well, who managed to put himself in fourth just by driving cleanly, which is good. Unfortunate for Nut, who did DNF at the end. Oh, sorry, who did DNF midway through the race, but I guess that's racing. So hopefully you've enjoyed that one. As usual, I'm Q90. This has been Seacar, and we will catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys. We'll see you around for Tier 2 coming up shortly.
Somewhere